So here's a kind of fun, wild story for you folks. So you remember Michael Rapaport? That's my little nickname, Michael Rapaport. The man who just can't get anywhere in Hollywood. It must be all these Arab studios that are running around. I'm sure they're, transforming the studio at Sunset and Gower into a full mosque. That's just how nefarious it's become. It's all the jihadists that are running Hollywood that Michael Rapaport isn't getting a job. Or it could be just his personality in general, because we know that Michael Rapaport's not a very pleasant man. And more so now, as he continues to expose himself, caring so much about the Zionist cause, caring so much about, the utter destruction of Palestine, going over to Israel, claiming that there's no apartheid state. I don't know where the apartheid state is. Making a mockery of himself, making just a complete embarrassment of what little stature he has in the world. This is topping it. So, Due Dissidents, Keen Weiss and Russell Dobular. Shout out to them, because Russell Dobular went to this event in New York City, and I think it's an Anti Mamdani event. So that's Zoran Mamdani, the probably next in lead for New York City mayor. Now, I don't really have anything to say about the New York City mayor race. I stated that it was kind of weird that they keep mentioning about Israel. Like, it just seems so crazy that a mayoral race of a city cares so much about foreign territory. Like, it just seems crazy to announce that, but I can't really say much about it because it's not my jurisdiction. And Due Distance has done a lot of great work on this subject matter. I could tell you a lot about Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo is a nefarious thug. He's a criminal. He's just an absolute disaster. And a lot of people, I saw, what's her name? The social media influencer, Emily, I think it's Wilson, I think her name is, doing a campaign for hot girls for Cuomo. It's just so hilarious. But here's Michael Rapaport at an event, an Anti Mamdani event with other Zionists there. And Michael Rapaport is exposing himself once again for being just a ruthless thug. This guy who claims that he's, peaceful and respectful. Watch him freak out as Russell Dobular tries to just interview him, ask him simple questions, and of course, he has an epic freak out. Watch this.
Mike, what did you mean when you said we got to take out Mamdani by any means necessary?
Vote him out.
Vote him out?
You can't win.
Do you feel that language suggests violence to
No,
some people?
no. I feel like it suggests violence to people like you.
Wait, whoa. Back the phone up for a second. You just said that we have to do anything necessary to take down Mamdani, which in my mind, and judging by the context, can lead to violence by any means necessary. Have you not seen Goodfellas? Have you not seen The Godfather? Have you not seen mafia films? Do you not know the lingo of the streets? You're in New York. I think you should know better than not to use by any means necessary in that context, because that resorts to violent actions by any means necessary. It's one thing to say just vote him out. That's one thing. But you said by any means necessary. That leads to violence in that context. So what you're saying here is by any means necessary, even if you have to go to violent extremes, we can't have Zoran Mamdani in office. That's what he's stating here. And then he's trying to direct that towards Russell for asking that question.
I'm not a violent person.
Oh.
Okay.
Don't try to exploit me. I do the fucking exploiting.
You do the exploiting?
I do the exploiting, asshole.
I'm asking you a question about something
I
you
do
said.
the
Russell Dobular is asking him a question. And he goes into a freak out mode. I do the exploiting, dumbass. I'm the one who exploits people. And you can see there, he was about to get violent. I'm not a violent person, but I was about to lunge at Russell Dobular. You can see the one guy who was trying to stop him. You saw that, right? Let's go back a bit. Go back a bit.
Feel that language
Watch
suggests
this.
violence to some people?
No. I feel like it suggests violence to people like you. I'm not a violent person.
Okay.
So he says, I'm not a violent person, but
Try
watch
to
this.
exploit me. I do the fucking exploiting.
So he takes a step forward as if he's trying to like go after Russell, and the guy next to him has to stop him. He has to put his arm out and try to stop. You just said you're not a violent person, but you're ready to punch at Russell Dobular for asking a question. This shows what an embarrassment, a laughingstock Michael Rapaport is. Anyway, let's see the rest of this.
I do the exploiting, asshole.
I'm asking you a question about something.
I do the exploiting. I do the exploiting, little guy. You see that?
Okay.
I got the big following. You got nothing.
Right.
I do the exploiting.
Who are you exploiting?
I'm exploiting you.
You're exploiting me.
I exploit
How
you.
so?
I do the exploiting.
So, how do you...
By doing what? You're just an idiot holding a camera up taking a selfie of Russell Dobular. How's that exploiting him? If anything, that's giving him more perception. Oh, that's nice. You're taking a selfie of Russell Dobular. You're giving him more respect. That matter. This is so stupid. It's so stupid. I'm exploiting you. Let me take a picture of you. And I'm going to share it on social media. Yeah, that's exploiting someone. I'm sure people on social media, once they see a picture of Russell Dobular, they're going to be like freaked out. Oh my God, who is this maniac? Oh, that's Russell Dobular, Due Distance. Oh, I like that guy. Yeah, exploiting. Pfft. Give me a break.
How do you feel about the videos that come up on TikTok and X?
About what? Hamas shooting people in public? I think that the
Palestinian children.
I think the videos that come up on social media of Hamas killing civilians is disgusting. The videos of the Hamas killing children in the street, killing civilians in the street is disgusting, especially during a ceasefire. Are you a ceasefire guy?
Ceasefire?
Yeah, are you a ceasefire?
It's so crazy because I'm generally disgusted by seeing all the videos of children being murdered by Hamas. I wonder if he was disgusted by the fact that Hamas was funded by Netanyahu and the Kitz government. I wonder if he was disgusted by that. I wonder if he was disgusted by the Hannibal Directive. I wonder if he was disgusted by the utter pillage that the IDF did to their own soldiers. I wonder if he's disgusted by anything like that. But no, he's disgusted by the one thing that mainstream media told him to do so that he can get ahead in Hollywood. But it turns out it's backfired because Michael Rapaport is a disgusting individual. Michael Rapaport is a disgusting, vile individual. And that's not just me saying that, watching this video and seeing interpretations of him. This is coming from accounts that have dealt with him. He's supposedly a comic, and other comedians who have been in the same clubs as him, they all agree that this guy is disgusting and vile and just toxic. And you're about to see how toxic he can get.
I support
Are you a ceasefire guy?
Yes, are you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. But I don't hear you happy about it.
Well, of course, everyone's happy about it.
Are you?
If
Are you
Israel would
Jewish?
honor it,
Are you Jewish?
I am Jewish.
Like, this is such stupid question. Are you a ceasefire guy? Are you a ceasefire guy? Well, you don't seem to be happy about it. I don't know, maybe because Israel is not held to the deal, that we know Israel was going to violate the ceasefire, that they're still continuing the utter destruction. Maybe because we know that every ceasefire that's been attempted has completely been destroyed and wrecked by Israel, that Israel has never kept to a deal that the United States and other nations force upon. It's just an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. And he goes, yeah, I'm a ceasefire deal, but are you Jewish? Are you Jewish? And of course, Russell Dobular is Jewish. Same with Keaton Weiss. They're both Jewish people. They're both Jewish guys. So I wonder how he's going to take this, knowing that Russell Dobular is probably going to say yes. How is Michael Rapaport going to respond to a Jewish guy who is against Israel? Because now they can't say it's anti-Semitic if it's a Jewish guy. So let's see where it goes.
How do you practice your Judaism?
What do you mean?
You don't know what I mean?
Well, how do you practice?
How do you practice your? I'm asking the questions.
No, I'm asking you.
No, I'm asking the questions.
So what about the evidence that Israeli snipers have been shooting children?
No, they are not.
Don't even talk. You got enough content.
So, Russ Dobular makes the excellent point about what about the Israeli snipers that are targeting their own civilians? You mean the Hannibal Directive. And of course, that freaked them out. That freaked out the Zionists. So, Michael Rapaport grabs his microphone, throws it to the ground. Just hear me out. So, if Michael Rapaport's attacking Russell Dobular is a Jewish man, would that not be considered a hate crime? Is that not considered an anti-Semitic hate crime? When the New York City cops go and arrest Michael Rapaport and tribe him with a hate crime? Because you're antagonizing someone, you're going after and assaulting someone who's clearly Jewish. He said he was Jewish after you asked him maliciously, and you still antagonize him. So wouldn't that be considered a hate crime under New York law, under the new sweeping restrictions of America?
You got enough content. I grabbed him. Yeah, I grabbed him.
You're gonna actually trust them, but they
You got enough content. Go on.
You got enough content. You got enough content. Go on. This is Michael Rapaport, ladies and gentlemen. And you wonder why this guy can't get any movies, any jobs in Hollywood. God, all these Arabs that are controlling Hollywood. I tell you, the jihadist terrorists that run Warner Brothers. Or Paramount. Oh, wait a second. It's bought by Larry Ellison, so I'm gonna go and harass this Jewish guy that's asking me questions. Actually, accurate questions about the situation.
Before it gets worse.
Yeah.
Before it gets...
No, I'm telling you.
Before it gets worse. So now Michael Rapaport is threatening Russell Dobular. A guy who says I'm not a violent person proceeds to be the most violent in this situation. He went and grabbed his microphone, slammed it to the ground. He's trying to, scare him by lunging at him. The guy had to stop him. And now he's saying, oh, it's going to get worse. This is what characters the Zionists are. Not Jewish people. Jewish people are calm, they're pleasant, they're wonderful people. Russell Dobular is a great person. But Michael Rapaport, this Zionist zombie, this is what they're known for. They're known for antagonizing people. They're known for being violent extremists. They're known for starting, for going after, going after people. And then at the same time, they cry foul. They cry victimhood. At the same time, they do it intentionally. They do it intentionally to make themselves feel like the victim, to make themselves the important person because they believe they're God's chosen people. At the same time, they're demonizing other people, including other Jewish people that don't align with their cult. That's what it is. It's a cult. Because if you're not 110% on board with everything a Zionist does and everything in Zionist culture, then you are considered a demon. You're considered worse. You're considered an awful person. And that's what Michael Rapaport is doing to Russell Dobular, a Jewish man. And I'd just like to know if this is considered a hate crime by looking at this. That Michael Rapaport is attacking a journalist's microphone and camera and antagonizing him for being Jewish. To me, that would be considered a hate crime. To me, that's considered anti-Semitism. But to Zionism, it's an average day. It's an average day.
It could get worse.
How are you?
I love what you're doing.
Good to
man.
see you. I've ever been in. So that's when I started.
So now he kicks the tripod.
Hey, what, you kicking my tripod? Michael Rapaport is a violent guy, man. He's attacked me today. He's making violent threats against Mamdani. Do you think your behavior online is spreading anti-Semitism, Michael? You think you're causing anti-Semitism?
Came here peacefully. Everybody came here.
So that's incredible. Michael Rapaport, ladies and gentlemen, going from I'm not a violent person to, of course I'm going to lunge and attack you because my feelings, my perception is getting triggered by a Jewish man who's actually smart and credible and actually can look past the Zionist brainwash and brain rot that has diseased a lot of these people. Like, you saw the crowd there when Russ Dobular made the point about Israeli snipers attacking their own citizens. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, that's crazy. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? I don't know. Maybe go look at the internet and go look up. You can do a quick Google search and, oh my God, Israeli publications have pointed this out. The Jerusalem Post, the Times of Israel, Haaretz. They have all stated that Israeli IDF soldiers committed acts of violence against Israelis in the form of the Hannibal Directive. Oh my God. Think how crazy it is that some people actually do their own research, which we're not allowed to do in this time of era, because after 2020, doing your own research and reading things was bad. So that's where these morons come from. These morons that don't know anything that's going on in the world, that they're completely clueless, they're completely blindsided, they're completely brainwashed, and anyone that has a contradicting perceptive, or they're willing to challenge, or they're willing to question, or reach out and say, hey, I disagree with you on this, can you explain, this? They attack. Because they're in a cult. They're in a deranged death cult, and anyone that contradicts them is deemed an awful person, and they need to take violent actions. And we've seen this numerous times before. At the same time, they want to cry about being the victims. It's kind of hilarious, actually. So I said, what an utterly disgusting, talentless, piss-skin loser. In the words of Michael Rapaport. Remember he said that about Donald Trump? He's a piss-skin politician. That's what he said about Donald Trump. Now I'm saying about him. No wonder why he can't get work in Hollywood. Here's Jimmy Dore. Rapaport, I'm not violent. Immediately attacks reporter, kicks his tripod, and throws microphone on the ground. This is how geniuses like Michael Rapaport have increased and incited anti-Semitism. Exactly. And a lot of the anti-Semitism crimes that are going around that they're claiming is there's a global uptake is because of people like Michael Rapaport, because they thrive off it. They need anti-Semitism because anti-Semitism makes him the victim, and he can play and pander to that to exploit that for the further general agenda of the Greater Israeli Project. They then can use anti-Semitism to say and back Israel and say this is why we have to do what we do. Because there's so much anti-Semitism running around. There's people like Russ Dobular, who's a Jewish man, asking me questions. Oh my God, so anti-Semitic. That's why I gotta violently attack him. What an absolute prick. But it didn't even stop there, folks. Because now here's Michael Rapaport himself on his account saying Apple did not fall far from the tree with Zoran the moron. That's what he's calling Zoran Mamdani. And his hate-filled daddy, Professor Suicide Bombers or Soldiers. You're both rotten to the core, and no one believes your tall tales about uncomfortable aunt. Vote Cuomo and get this pathological liar out there. Yeah, because Andrew Cuomo is the truth teller. Andrew Cuomo, who lied the entire time during COVID, that made a bunch of elderly people died under his watch, and then gave himself an Emmy Award for his stunt performances on CNN with his brother. Of course, he's not the liar. Wow. So here's Michael Rapaport doubling down on this hatred of Zoran Mamdani, which, again, I can't comment mostly about it because I'm not a New Yorker. It's not my jurisdiction. I view it the same way as any mayoral race. There's going to be some people that are disagreeing and whatnot. In this particular case, there's some good out of Zoran Mamdani. There's some bad things about Zoran Mamdani. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see, because even though he says the right things, is it going to be another, Bernie Sanders? Is it going to be another AOC where he's just going to say the things once he gets into power, then he's going to completely betray the people? Who knows? Who knows exactly? But here's what Michael Rapaport said.
You're not a fucking leader, you're a bozo, a bullshit artist bozo with a microphone. Where's the proof? Where's the facts of anything happening to your aunt? Where's the proof? Where's the facts of any Islamophobia being put on you or your wife or your aunt? We know your father ain't scared. We know that Zoran the moron's father ain't scared. He ain't scared in New York. He ain't scared in America. Zoran the moron's father is a nasty jihadist supporting nasty anti-Jewish anti-Semite.
As he went and attacked a Jewish reporter for asking questions. Just want to make that clear. As you went and attacked Russell Dobular for asking questions, for simply being a genuine human being, having a conversation with you, you attacked him. You attacked him. But no, it's Zoran the moron and his father and his aunt and his entire family. They're a bunch of jihadists. Like, that's the same mentality that leads to genocide. That's the same mentality that has been going on for over 2 decades now. I feel like we're back in 2001 where everything that is in relation to Muslim, anything that's in relation to anything Middle Eastern that isn't Israel is considered a threat. So anyone that's eating, anyone that's eating hummus out there is leading to jihadists. Like, Jesus Christ, give me a break.
Your dad ain't scared to walk around New York City. Your dad's saying crazy shit with camera on wax. Because we know your dad ain't scared of shit. Because he says the wildest, most disrespectful, insane, anti-Zionist, anti-American shit with his face on wax. So what the fuck really happened to your aunt, you bullshit artist? I don't believe you. We do not believe you're weaponizing Islamophobia to get fucking votes. It's disgusting. And you're stroking paranoia.
At the same time, pukes like him and Laura Loomer and so many other people are trying to threaten New Yorkers with another 9/11. I kid you not. I kid you not. This is how brain damaged these people are. They're posting pictures about 9/11 and threatening New Yorkers by saying, hey, if you have interest in voting for this Muslim Democrat to become mayor, this is going to happen to New York City. You're threatening New Yorkers. You're threatening New Yorkers with another 9/11 because they're practicing democracy. You pile of fucking ignorant pukes. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to say it to your face. You're a bunch of ignorant pukes for practicing democracy. Oh, this is going to happen. Another 9/11 is going to happen. From Laura Loomer. She lives in goddamn Florida, for God's sakes. So why do you care? Why do you care who's the mayor of New York City when you're down in goddamn Florida? It's not in your jurisdiction. That's why I'm not saying anything about Zoran Mamdani or Andrew Cuomo or anything like that. It's not my jurisdiction. New Yorkers vote for whoever they want to be mayor, just like we vote for whoever wants to be the Toronto mayor, whoever wants to be this mayor. It's so maniacal. It's so maniacal. But of course, they're gonna go after her because there's a lot of Zionists in New York City. There's a lot of people that are threatened by the idea of not only a Muslim mayor, but a very socialist mayor that is looking to, have a rent freeze so that it doesn't increase. They're not siding with, the corrupted landlords, the corrupted real estate tycoons that obviously Andrew Cuomo is affiliated with. Andrew Cuomo, by the way, is also Netanyahu's personal legal buddy. So that's why someone like Michael Rapaport is okay, even though I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure Michael Rapaport has already called out Andrew Cuomo before for all the heinous stuff he did about COVID. But it's okay now. It's okay now because, hey, he works for Benjamin Not-Jew. Benjamin fake name. And the state of Israel, the colonization, the military project of Israel. What a disaster this guy is. And he just continues on this. So it says, standing near the site of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, Michael Rapaport tells New Yorkers what's really at stake in this election. Globalize the Intifada is not just calling for violence against Jews. It's calling for violence against anyone who doesn't submit to radical jihadist ideology. That's not what it means. That's not what it means. Globalize the Intifada. If you look at the actual definition, it has nothing to do with Jews. It has nothing to do with Muslims. It has nothing to do with jihadists. It's a message about unity. It's a message about unity. And then he tries to spin it in the direction. It says that means Christians. That means Muslims who don't agree. That means the LGBTQ. That means women. That means artists, journalists, comedians, free thinkers, anyone that believes in freedom. Again, after we witnessed Michael Rapaport savagely going after Russ Dobular. Because that's a guy who doesn't believe in freedom. That's a guy who doesn't believe in free thinking. This is a guy who doesn't believe in journalism. He's a pathetic moron. Michael Rapaport is a pathetic moron who's using this for his own advantage. He's using this for his cult-like behavior to weaponize this whole mayoral race that I'm pretty sure doesn't even affect him. I don't even know if he lives in New York anymore. But he's trying to do this to gain brownie points because Hollywood's not featuring him in movies. He doesn't have work anymore. So he's going full board on being the Zionist ploy and demonizing the mayoral race and going after people like Russell Dobular. Here's another thing that case study pointed out. Michael Rapaport goes after Zoran Mamdani's wife. So not just him, not just his father, not just the aunt, but his wife. She's nasty too. We have to take this guy down by any means necessary. So again, Michael Rapaport, Mr. I'm not a violent guy, proven that he's not. Because what that means in context is violent acts. That we have to take this guy down no matter what. And that leads to violent acts. That is political assault, which you could be charged of. You could be charged of. But of course, I'd imagine New York City police are going to stay quiet about this because New York City cops tend to idolize the Zionist movement. A lot of them are trained by Israel. Just to point that out. And here's some more takes of Michael Rapaport here. Did you know Michael Rapaport got caught? So while this guy claims to be, the supporter of the Jewish people and, standing up for Israel, standing up for the free thinking, free spirit, secular nation of Israel, which we know that's not, Michael Rapaport posted an AI fake Holocaust image, which under the Holocaust group is considered a crime. He's actually spreading anti-Semitism by doing this. The image, which garnered thousands of likes and shared, was presented as authentic, but the Auschwitz-Birkenau Museum, the Central Holocaust Memorial Site in Poland, immediately identified it as a dangerous fake. So Michael Rapaport was engaged in anti-Semitism. Because under their jurisdiction, under the Holocaust Museum, are the people responsible for the horrific day against Jewish civilians. That's considered a hate crime. That's considered anti-Semitic. That's considered violent extremist. Michael Rapaport did. But of course, Michael Rapaport does not see himself as being a violent extremist because he's stuck in a death cult. And a lot of these ridiculous Zionists, they don't have a center core to understand that what they're doing is exactly what they're condemning other people doing. They are the ones. They are the guilty ones. They're the ones that are stoking violence. They're the ones that are causing political extremism. They're the ones that are causing anti-Semitism. And they're doing it intentionally. Intentionally. At the same time, they're calling themselves victims so that they can get pressure from the United States government, from jurisdictions, from legislators and whatnot, to work in their favor. This is all manufactured from the get-go. And here's something else, too, which I found fascinating. So, before all this, Michael Rapaport, when he was a actor, in the light sense, was caught with a harassment suit. So, as told by page 6 here, says way before Barstool Drama. So Michael Rapaport used to host Barstool Sports with what's his name, Dave Portnoy, and before that he was an actor. And at the time, Michael Rapaport was dating this actress, Lily Taylor, who I've recently just seen because I rewatched the Conjuring movies. She was in the first one, and I actually Googled Lily Taylor because I was curious about her background, and this came up, and I didn't even know about this. So Michael Rapaport was dating Lily Taylor at the time, and there was a harassment lawsuit against Michael Rapaport because Lily Taylor was sexually assaulted and abused by Michael Rapaport, the guy who claims he's not a violent person. And this article was back from 2021. And I'm not sure exactly when the lawsuit took place. Let's see it here. I think it's in the article here. Oh, 1997. The 6 feet under actress filed a police report claiming that following her breakup, Rapaport repeatedly called her and showed up at her apartment in the middle of the night, banging on her window. Taylor, who starred alongside Rapaport's 1996 Illtown and 1997's Kicked in the Head, claimed he wanted to get back together, and his actions left her seriously annoyed. Almost exactly a year later, Rapaport pleaded guilty to aggravated harassment, admitting to a judge that he called her 21 times in 4 days following their split. And then it also says that he was involved in embellishing vitriolic battle, blah, 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 calling people nasty names. So, yeah, Michael Rapaport, ladies and gentlemen. This is an asshole. This is clearly a mentally deranged, sick, twisted person. And the fact that he went after Russ Dobular while claiming he was, an innocent person. I'm not a violent person, but here I am clearly trying to kick down your tripod, trying to throw down your microphone, trying to aggravatedly assault a Jewish reporter for asking questions. And considering now that we know the background of Michael Rapaport and the demise of him, it's kind of clear as day why he continues to peddle on this motion, because this is a guy who's clearly deranged, clearly sick, and it works in favor for the Zionist clan. Works in favor because a lot of those people are in that same boat. And they claim, they cling on to victimhood. They, try to sow division. They try to go after people, then claim it as anti-Semitism, and then use that to their advantage. It's just absolutely just demoralizing. It does nothing for the Jewish population. And it's wrecking. It's wrecking everything that supposedly they stand for. And if you look at where Zionist comes from, they're not for the Jewish people, by the way. They are for their own facilitation of Israel, their own faction. And you look at the origins of where Zionism comes from, it comes from the origins of fascism. It comes from the branches of Nazism. And if you go back, that's why there's a commemorative coin minted with both the swastika and the Jewish Star of David, preaching Zionist fascist coalitions. And that's where you get people like Michael Rapaport in modern days now, doing stuff that, you know, Nazis would have done back in the day against Jewish people. But they claim that they're supporting Jewish people. That's their escape. That's their little clutch that they're able to cling on to. But we can obviously see just how deranged all this is.